All right, so we have a new breakdown. We've traded through the low here. We have initiated new volume, traded back up a little bit, and now we are moving lower again. And the only reason I haven't put an order on is because at every point we've been like 3 points worth of stop. So this is just too much for me to risk. So I'm hoping that we can build a little bit of volume down here and see if we can get the stop to sort of come together. What I don't want is I don't want an entry that's up above these levels, because then we would start making higher highs just to get back, right? So I'm concerned because we've already had a pullback, a continuation, a pullback into this, and then now a further continuation. And so this is better, right? I don't have any problem getting into a trade here, but I can't use this as a stop. And there's nothing above this. There's nothing above this entry level until up here, right? So here is our, I want you to sort of, we'll see if this will play out while I draw some lines, and maybe we can find a trade. This is where the breakdown takes place, right? So here's the seller coming in, the buyer lifting back up, the transition of the seller breaking through, right? So placing a stop up here is brilliant. The problem is that it's 3 points away. So in risk to reward terms, if we were to enter here at 69 and put our stop there, the 2-to-1, right? Just our initial, can I grab this? Look how far away this is. Oh, look, it's coming into it. Right? I'm hesitant to have to try and get 7 points out of a trade just to get my initial risk covered. So it's always going to be a personal thing, and I don't know what your risk limits are, but the ES generally moves in 3, 5, 7 point swings. I don't like to be on the bigger edge of that, just trying to get the trade covered. So if my 2-to-1 is 3 points, where I only have, maybe I've got 6 ticks of risk, and so 12 ticks gets me my first profit target, I'm okay with it. And this might work out, and this might end up being great, but this is just too much to risk. It doesn't make sense to have that much at risk. And here is the part that I like about it, right? We've got the volume here that came back up and held, and now we're holding it. So I love the entry, and I love the stop up above this, but I don't love how big it is. And those are decisions that you guys are going to have to learn how to make. If it's justifiable to you to put on a trade with a 3 or 3.5 point stop, then so be it. For me, it's just not there, and it's because I don't see the ES take off and run in those large. And this looks like it's holding well in those large factors like that. It's just more risk than I'm willing to absorb. So this is getting a little bit tighter. We're still at a little bit more than 2.5. Right. So if we can just sort of track this of where that would be, but it's just too much. Right. That's 3 points. That's just more than I can handle. Okay, well, this is starting to look more like a low. So now that we've traded up above this transition here, which was sort of our point of, you can see the buyers getting on the other side of it. I'm just going to scrap this one. This is a good example, though, of having to make the tough decision. And when we were first approaching this here, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, I mean, that's a huge gap to cover for a stop. Again, here, just way too much, and now it looks like the market's turning around. We're making higher highs and higher lows, so I just don't see this as a swing opportunity anymore. So hope that works as a lesson on how to sort of talk yourself out of a trade, I guess. If the risk is too high, you can't put the pieces together, it's not worth taking.